What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav Show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, it's your host with the most, JP. And to my right, I have my esteemed co-host, brother and friend, this week better known as Transfer Portal, Trav. Trav, how are you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm stretching a little bit. I'm up here in Colorado, actually doing some work. But while I'm up here, I'm getting some cardio in to try and condition myself a little bit better because I'm gonna be ready to play wide receiver in the bowl game come the
Yeah,
27th. So,
yeah,
some of us super committed to the cause. Having to get up here and do whatever I can to make sure that I'm good to go on the field on the 27th, right? That's what I'm doing.
yeah,
How about
yeah.
you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. Looking forward to seeing you in a few days.
Yeah, you on your
Yeah,
way.
should be
You going
should be
right from the
fun.
podcast to the airport, huh? Just
Shoot.
sit at the gate waiting, huh?
Sit at the gate waiting. Yeah, no. Flying out early Friday morning. So it should be a fun weekend. But yeah, I'm doing good. Just getting ready for my wisdom teeth to be pulled out next week. So that'll be
Oof.
fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. But hoping that we can calm some of Student Nation down because it's been a whirlwind of a week since we last talked. With the
Got all
transfer
kinds of
portal.
stuff to talk about.
Man, all kinds. Transporter opening up. Jackson Arnold in the portal. You got linemen in the portal, wide receivers in the portal, Desan in the portal. Just so many different pieces to it. And, I think Sooner Nation's a little bit uneasy right now. Not even about the bowl game, but just in general. And what does this look like, moving forward for us in the current state of our program? And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to talk about those things. Biggest news today, it's not OU related, is Bill Belichick is coming to college football and heading over to Chapel Hill in North Carolina. That'll be interesting to see, how he assimilates to the college game and what impact that has on the college football world, recruiting, etc. But yeah, man, lots to talk about. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, even Rich Rodriguez going back to West Virginia, Scott Frost going back to UCF.
Yeah,
Like, everybody says they miss the good old days, and some coaches are like, "Screw it, we're taking it back to the good old days." What do you
yeah,
mean missing them? We're going and doing it. So,
yeah,
I'm awaiting the Bob Stoops, defensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinator with Zach Alley announcement, since everybody's kind of throwing it back. Yeah, and since it is a work trip, but you know I'm on a little vacation. Pull
yeah,
myself up some. So, nightcap here in Colorado Springs. Went to the Broadmoor. That place is amazing,
yeah.
beautiful. Did you know that Did you know that George W. Bush took his last drinks ever at the Broadmoor? He woke
Mhm.
up with a hangover and decided to never drink again. This was like over 20 years ago. He was at a party, a fundraiser, who knows, at the Broadmoor here in Colorado Springs. Got drunk, altitude probably mixed into that. Woke up feeling like crap, and that was the last time that George W. Bush ever took a drink of alcohol. Isn't that
Wow,
amazing?
that's nuts.
Yeah, I tried to find the bartender tonight that served him, um, but I don't know. I was asking around, I couldn't find it, but it was
Right.
in his book apparently. So, cheers to George W.
Mm. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Oh, so Trav, as Bagman said, we're everybody's favorite resident sunshine pumpers. We wear it proudly. I got the little light in the background here as well, to prove that that's what we are.
Yeah.
So, what positive spin can we put on what's going on right now, or is there anything even positive to say?
Well, it would seem that at least it's possible that some of our receivers may have been healthy enough to play. If they were healthy enough to play and they decided not to, good, get in the portal. I don't want you. Like, simple as that. Like, and this is coming from somebody that was speaking with other players' parents of people who were actually injured, not hurt, injured. You know, we heard some numbers about some wide receivers getting up and testing out at 80%. I know of a lineman that was playing at like 58% all year. And that's just the difference. So I don't know if I know a lot of people want to blame the medical staff and blame this, that, and the other. And you know, again, when you get parents involved, it's a whole nother animal. But look, man, there's also something to be considered of, you know, if you are getting paid a certain amount of money in NIL, and who knows, maybe University of Oklahoma determined, and I don't know this for a fact, but at least walk down this path with me. Say you went and got a receiver out of the portal last year or the year before. I'm not talking about anybody specific, but walk down this hypothetical. And you paid them $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. And then they're coming off an ACL. Would you pay that man the exact same amount of money, or would you give him a pay cut? I would probably give him a pay cut. I would say, well, you know, I was paying for this. Now I'm paying for this. Then if I found out you were healthy, now I'm really not paying for you. So that's something to remember now, is that in the NIL world, there are some people that may have been getting paid X amount that now maybe the staff doesn't think is worth that amount. And maybe the player thinks that, well, I'm still the same player. How many times have we seen players come back from an ACL not the same?
Yeah.
Not more than once, right? And if it's happened more than once, who knows who it can happen to? So, anyways, I do think it's some really, really negative optics. When you talk about and brag about how healthy you are right after the season, when apparently you couldn't play all season, that's a bad look. Like, that's bad PR. Like, you need to talk to your agent. Like, don't go fighting with people on Twitter. Don't talk about how healthy you are. None of that. Like, cut that out, man, because everybody was ready to blame the medical staff for everything. Like, I mean, they were calling for their heads. They didn't even know their names. And they're like, we want names so we can call them out directly. And, you know, we've got a wide receiver that put something out there. Looks great. Looks like ready for the combine.
Yeah.
So is the medical staff bad? Or is there something else afoot? I don't know. I'm not in the room. You're getting stories from both sides, right? And what's weird is both sides, per usual, think that they're not the ones to blame. So it usually ends up somewhere in the middle. Likely both sides are at fault, but neither side is going to admit to being at fault. So it's a waste of time.
Yeah. It's almost like, my question is, how did we get to this point where, like you said, we're even having a discussion where about, like, you know, and I think it's frustrating from the standpoint of, like, you know, like we said, we're not naming names, but, you know, you're hoping you have guys that are, and you know, even though you want to recruit the right character guys or whatever, it's not going to be 100% all the time, right? On a given team. But you hope that you have guys that are committed to the university, you know, which is kind of what is the moniker. And I think maybe, you know, the staff's finding out that at the end of the day, a lot of these kids are not necessarily going to always be built that way in this generation and in this era. And so, yes, we can still have the guys of like, man, we want you to come play for University of Oklahoma, but like at the end of the day, like we have to find ways to be, I don't want to say cutthroat, but you know, hey, we got to win games. We got to have people out here that can play.
Business.
You know?
You can't, you know, cutthroat, insensitive, this, that, and the other. Like, business is business. If it's business for you to leave so you can go get more money, cool. But business goes both ways.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that there are some, because of the NCAA ruling, there's some walk-ons that are having to move on, enter the portal. And that's what stinks. Guys like that.
Yeah.
Not the guys that are getting paid big old NIL money and walking around with, tens of thousands of dollars worth of accessories on as they, brag about going into the portal a second time or a third time. I'm bummed for the walk-ons. I'm bummed for those types that, they want to play. They're not making much. If any, I mean, Danny Stutzman's taking care of them. Walk-ons Bar and Grill is taking care of them. All this, and Sheila hit it on the head. Everybody like us, we want guys that want to play for the University of Oklahoma. You think guys that grew up in California or New York or Michigan or Ohio or anything, you think they give two damns about the University of Oklahoma? Absolutely not. And it's silly to think so. All this, hey, it's love. I just love, I love the fans. You love the fans because they're really nice to you, and they bump up your Twitter followers, and they bump up your Instagram followers, and they buy your merch, and they support you through thick and thin and whatnot. But let's be honest, you're not coming to Oklahoma because you're just loyal to the soil. No, you think it's your best opportunity to go to the NFL. And that's what was true with Adrian Peterson. That's what was true with Joe Mixon. That's what was true with all kinds of guys. Trent Williams. It's true with a lot of guys that Oklahoma, we continue to develop guys, get guys drafted. We continue to compete for championships. If you keep on stringing together 6 and 6s, you're going to be screwed. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I would rather have guys out of the portal that are going to cost us less, that are healthy, and that want to play in Arbuckle's system, that want to go win, that want to go play in the SEC. The rest of them, hey, man, go chase your money. Go get your bag and call it like it is. Don't cry about this, that, or the other. Oh, it's, you don't know what I would. No, you came here because you were probably paid a decent amount and you wanted to play here. And then now you want to go get paid again. Just keep it a buck. That's what's crazy to me about all this stuff, JP, is everybody wants to talk about, I talked to God and my family, and God told me I needed to enter the portal. No, God didn't. God didn't call you and tell you, hey, we're going to drop a bag on you to go in the portal. That's one of the, I'm a Christian dude. I get it. I don't throw it in anybody's face or anything, but it's so cringeworthy that all these guys, that their uncle or their agent or their handler said, hey, I can get you more money somewhere. And they credit God for speaking to them and then praying about it. And then all of a sudden they take a bag to go somewhere else. I want one guy to be honest. One guy to come out and say, hey guys, appreciate y'all, but this other school, they may be an offer I couldn't refuse. Yeah. And just say that. And just say that and go. Yeah. I will respect that player so much more than just the, what's already understood doesn't need to be explained. Talk to God and he told me to do this, this, that, and the other. Dude, take your money, leave, and keep it a buck. People take new jobs all the time. It's okay to take a new job and not claim that, you were wronged or you were treated unfairly or misdiagnosed or we need to fire everybody because they didn't handle you appropriately. Yeah. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
They're blessed to be able to play college football in an era where they can make tens of thousands of dollars, upwards of $100,000 to go play a sport that everybody else used to play for free. They're blessed to be in that position. So don't insult everybody's intelligence and saying that, oh, talk to God. And God said, I need a new, scat pack. I need a new, track hawk. That's what God told me. So stop it. Just be honest with us. Just say that, hey, look, it would be silly for me to turn down the amount of money that they're offering me. So I'm going to go. And I will tip my cap to you out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up, I feel you on that. Believer as well. I don't like guys' name being played around with, like you said. So, it's, like you said, at the end of the day, it's to be honest with it. Say, here's what you need, here's what we want and everything like that. Kirby's always told me he wants guys with misdemeanors on the team.
Hey, at least I'll be honest with you.
At least Kirby being honest, yeah.
Well, at least those guys will be honest. The guys with misdemeanors will be honest with you too.
That's true. That's true. That's true. They in there for some nefarious intentions. But yeah, man, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. And I don't think it's going to calm down. Truly, I don't think it's going to calm down until we freaking win, 9, 10 games next year. And again, that's still going to be a tall task because our schedule is basically the same.
Yeah, so we had Michigan.
Yeah. And we had Michigan, who again, like this year's Michigan wasn't, anything to write home about. But again, can teams change? And you can say the same thing for next year. Maybe the schedule doesn't look as daunting halfway through the year, but based off of what we knew from this year, it's just as daunting. You go to Tennessee, you go to Alabama, you
I'm
go
so
to
excited.
Columbia with Lenore Sellers and a team that is rising in the SEC. That was a fringe playoff team this year that everybody thought, South Carolina's not going to be that good this year, and then bang, they were. So it's like it doesn't get any easier for us, and so we have to find a way to have a competent offense. Our defense is fine, but to go get guys that are healthy, like you said, that will hopefully stay healthy and get a great quarterback. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to calm down until that, but like once we actually start seeing some movement in the portal, and I don't know again if that's going to happen pre-bowl game, post-bowl game, or what. But like once we start seeing that stuff start to happen, I think people will take a deep breath. You would have thought people would take a deep breath when Michael Fasusi signed on last week, and then all the wide receivers, not all of them, but majority of them that were hurt are now in the portal. That doesn't mean they're gone yet. Do we expect any of them to come back? I mean, not to my knowledge. I've heard some rumblings that some people think that Nick may be convinced, but I don't know about that. We'll
I wouldn't
have to
count
see.
on it. I wouldn't count on it, but
Yeah.
Again, I'm eerily confident about the offense because I believe in Arbuckle that much, and I believe if we get Mateer, him and Hawkins can battle it out. See who see. When's the last time OU didn't have to use their second quarterback? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, 2010. I don't like. It's been a long time. So, I think we get Arbuckle. I think Hawkins stays if he's given the opportunity to compete. And you roll in with wide receivers that are hungry, that want to come compete, and maybe got some size to them, and they want to put up big numbers. Hey, if Deion Burks and if Jaden Gibson stay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Like those are two NFL wide receivers. Like now, if either of those two leave, I'll be bummed. But I think Nick, that's frustrating. But Jaden Gibson and Deion Burks are my top two that I want to keep. Like, simple as that. So, anyways, I think the offense is going to be fine. I know we're hosting a lot of offensive linemen. You know my feelings about that. Yep. I think the young offensive linemen are talented. They're young. They're finally getting some development because I got some reps. Really liked what I saw from Logan Howland, especially his development and his growth. Really liked what I saw from Heath Ozida. I think Heath Ozida might have pushed Garen Hatchett into the portal. Like, I think he might have that left guard sewn up. So I think Fabechi and EPL can compete at right guard. At right tackle, you got Jake Taylor hopefully coming back. I think as long as Biedenbow's retained, which I have no reason to believe he won't, especially by now. I think Jake Taylor stays. He's got two more. He's got this year and another year. So I think our offensive line is going to be improved. I think our running backs are going to be improved because our young guys get better. I think our quarterback play will get improved because of a quarterback developer. I think our offensive scheme is going to get improved. And our defense in year 4 going into Brent Venables, I mean, I got a lot of reason to be optimistic going into next year, but we've got to. And if we get that tight end from Ball State, a 6'7" dude, caught like 90 balls, I'll take him. But yeah, I'm fine with the offense next year. But no, Kirby, if you don't know about the Luke Haas situation, don't speak on it. But there's more to that story. No, I like the tight end from Ball State. We should go after him. A lot of tight ends in the portal right now. Old Deuce Robinson in the portal, oddly enough. But anyways, I think every part of the offense improves next year, which is not saying much because the offense was absolute dog water this year.
Dog water.
It was bad.
The doggiest.
It was
water.
Bad.
And that's what I've been telling people. I mean, you know, our boy Kirby and I, as we do every week, I was going back and forth with him today about, you know, I was speaking with him today about the offense, and you know, he's like, well, you know, the offense is not going anywhere. Like our foundation isn't built on anything. And I was like, the foundation of the program is the defense, first of all, and that's defense is good to not great, you know, to great. You know, it's bordering on that. The first 2 years of the Brent Venables era, the offenses were good to you know, borderline elite, right? Like the first 2 years. So I think really we need to take a step back and look at this past year was so freaking bad that it's making people feel like our offense has been trashed the entire Brent Venables era, which is just revisionist history. And it's acting like we can't get talent on offense, and that, you know, we'll never be able to have a good offensive scheme again. But it was just so much that we're just like, dang, like, can we breathe? Because it was week after week after freaking week of just what is happening, what's going on. We don't understand how we can look this bad. We never seen the offense this bad. Many of us in our lifetimes, I've never seen an Oklahoma offense that bad. Not even 2014 Oklahoma was that bad.
No.
You know?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, you know, I want some size on the offense. The one thing I think the thing you sell to Deion Burks, if you're Ben Arbuckle, is look how I use my best offensive weapons. I force the ball to them. He uses them a lot like Sark uses his offensive weapons. If you remember, Sark with Devontae Smith at Alabama forced him the ball, ran his offense around him. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Xavier Worthy. You know, turned him into a first-round draft pick. Like, try to do the same thing with Isaiah Bond. It hasn't worked quite as well. Isaiah Bond is a dude, but it hasn't worked quite as well. But like Deion Burks would eat in a Ben Arbuckle offense. He'd have his best career or best year of his career for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to having Arbuckle, you know, just work some magic, work some Sooner magic on our offense and see where we go from there. Really quick, obviously we play Navy on the 27th, and so that'll be, you know, it'll be interesting to see who plays. The defense, I think it seems that we know who will be. I mean, outside of if Danny and Billy decide to, you know, leave early for the draft, which is understandable if they do. But as far as everybody else, you know, seems like a lot of the defensive players are staying around, sticking around, and seem like we'll lose much on that side. But offensively, you know, I also feel like at this point, I don't know who else you can leave in the receiver room. I think I'd be more concerned if a lot of young talent was leaving, like, you know, Zion, Gurney, or Reagans, or you know, obviously even Jacob Jordan at this point, which, you know, depending on how people look at it, you know, is he a guy that could be up for a scholarship potentially, you know, based off of what he did this year. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Brendan Thompson's still around. You know, it'll be interesting to see who plays. Michael Hawkins, right? Taylor Tatum, all the running backs have Nobody's defected except for Caleb Hicks. So
It's going to be the youth movement.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
You're going to have Tatum, Robinson, Hawkins, like Raggins, Kearney, Carry-On, Howland, Ozida, like probably Autry Dent. Like it's basically going to be the freshman and redshirt freshmen of Oklahoma against Navy. And we're like 8-point favorites. It's going to be a party. One thing that happened that we haven't been on since. We got to talk about the playoff seeding. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts when Alabama was left out? And I want the chat's thoughts too. What was your thought when Alabama was left out for SMU?
That was SMU's second loss, right?
Yeah, SMU finished with 2 losses.
Yeah. I was shocked, to be honest with you. I mean, I would have never thought that they would have left a 3-loss SEC team out, for a 2-loss. And I think that if SMU had been, part of the American, it wouldn't have happened, right? So I think it's a big.
Well, Army didn't get in, and they're a G5, so
right. I think it's a big pat on the back for SMU's administration for having the foresight of getting them into a Power 4, because that is what and they got the championship game, and Clemson beat them, but they pushed Clemson to the wire. And to be honest, like, Clemson's looked at, they're not, obviously they're not what they were in the mid 2010s or anything like that. But like, Clemson's still looked at as one of the top teams in the ACC. And so your first year you come in and you dang near almost win an ACC championship, when you have 2 losses, it's going to be hard to leave you out. Obviously they're on the fringe, right? But it's hard to leave you out when you have a team that had 3 losses, 1 to Georgia, 1 to Vanderbilt, and then Vanderbilt, not the same Vanderbilt, but so Vanderbilt, Georgia, or not Georgia, I apologize. Who was the other loss
to? Tennessee.
Tennessee? Did Tennessee beat them?
Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat them again this year?
Believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so Vandy, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. So you have another playoff team loss, but then you go to a porous Oklahoma and get dominated.
Porous is a compliment.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side. The offense scored on you, ran all over you. So
got bullied.
You had your opportunity and you didn't take it. Like, at the end of the day, you lost 3 times. Like, you got to cry people a river.
Yeah. My biggest frustration with the conversation is the lie that people keep telling. And the biggest lie that's being told right now about the college football playoff is that the committee set a precedent that's going to ruin college football, set a precedent about out-of-conference scheduling. That's why you're hearing all these schools saying, cut the SEC play down to 6 conference games, schedule a bunch of high schools. It doesn't matter. Strength schedule doesn't matter. No, strength schedule matters. It just couldn't cover up the stench of 3 losses, 2 of which were to 6-6 Vandy and 6-6 Oklahoma. Couldn't do it. Strength schedule was the only reason that you were even considered as a 3-loss team. But the most annoying thing that I'm seeing, and the biggest fallacy, is, oh, this has changed college football forever. They set a precedent. These people are uninformed. You cannot set a precedent with a unique committee making decisions with a unique set of data.
Yeah.
Next year's committee, you have 5 people falling off this year's committee going into next year. The year after that, 2 fall off. The year after that, let's see, 6 fall off. So you're not even going to have the same committee. Like, that's what annoys me is you won't have the same committee next year. and you won't have the same set of data next year, but everybody's saying we got to change 20-year schedules because of what this decision that was made by the committee. I said, you can't do that. And everybody says, well, it's the only data we have to go on, so why don't we go off this data? JP, that would be like if you opened a pizza restaurant, the first person that walked in your door ordered a pepperoni pizza, and then you shouted to the kitchen, throw away the rest of the ingredients. We're only selling pepperoni pizzas from here on out. No, it's not enough to establish a trend. Therefore, it's not enough to make decisions about. And that's what annoys me is everybody saying, you got to get rid of the 2035 schedule, got to get rid of the 2030 schedule, got to get rid of the 2027 schedule. No, you're making 20-year decisions based on one unique committee that made one unique decision that didn't value strength of schedule over nasty losses and didn't let good wins override those losses. So it's ridiculous. The conversation is coming from a bunch of crybaby SEC fans that I know we're a part of, but they are absolute crybabies because they didn't get their way and they don't understand how building trends and making decisions off those trends works. And that's what's frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that they got it right, and I think a lot of people are happy about it, that it's not just about your brand. You gotta, what you do on the field matters. And I think that's what we all want. That's what we all want at the end.
Well, and that's what it's been about, right? JP, you remember when Purdue knocked the crap out of Ohio State? No, it cost Ohio State a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And Ohio State whined and whined and whined. And then it was like, oh, they just care about how bad your worst loss is. Well, Alabama had 2 awful losses this year. Awful. Well, they got rid of strength of schedule. They said it doesn't matter, so we should just schedule high schools. Shut up. It was one thing didn't go your way in 20 years, Alabama. Calm down. Didn't Alabama get into a playoff over undefeated Power 5 FSU last year? Like, can we stop talking about, if we've earned it or not?
Yeah, come on.
Undefeated Power 5 got in over them. And you act like, oh, Alabama needs to change their ways. Like, stop whining and understand how trends work and decision-making works. None of these people have made an important decision in their life. And they're like, nope, we've got 1 year of evidence. It's time to scrap schedules for the next 20 years. Our AD said he'd do it. No, the AD said he would look at the situation and assess whether or not they should, change the schedule. But everybody says, well, Greg Sankey should demand that, SEC schedules go down to 6 SEC games a year. What are we doing? Crybabies.
Yeah. They be complaining.
Always.
They be complaining for sure. But yeah, I agree, man. I think that they get it right, and it's going to be freaking fun to watch these games. I'm going to be laid up with my frozen peas on both sides of my mouth, watching these games, just chilling, laid up. Feel me? So I'm excited for it. But the state of Indiana is going to be booming because IU is at freaking Notre Dame, and that is it's nuts here right now, man. People are talking. IU fans coming out to Woodward talk trash to Notre Dame about football. I ain't never been able to do that.
I love it. I love it. I picked Indiana to cover. The thing is, I drove through Kansas on my way to Colorado, and you know what time it is. That's time for Travis to online gamble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had some free bets stacked up from my Caesars account, so time to get those out of there. So I'll tell you what. There's a what's funny? You brought up frozen peas. There was a marketing campaign. We were going down to when we were in California, when we went to Lake Tahoe and then over to Paso Robles. Yeah. It was so funny. There was this truck and it just said, "Give peas a chance." I was like, guys, you guys need better marketing. Like, cranberry has the best marketing. Like, you got cran apple, you got cran grape, you got cranberry, you got diet cranberry, you got splash of cranberry. You got cranberry is like the DJ Khaled of fruits. It is collaborating with everybody, and the sales reflect it. And meanwhile, peas are over here going, "Give peas a chance, man. Just give us a chance. We're not that bad." incredible marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into a little bit of Q&A here. It's been a minute since we've done this. We do this a lot in the off season. So Kirby has this question. Can we please discuss the Heisman, Hunter or Jonty? Is it good or is it Genty? It's Genty. Genty, not that PR machine Travis Hunter, his snap count. Listen, man, like you can say Travis Hunter's a PR machine, dog, but like I don't care who you are. What he does, in my opinion, is incredibly impressive. Like the fact that you have multiple, like four to five games of an interception and a touchdown, like that's not normal. And again, I'm not gonna say that Genty's not amazing, and he is, but you also have to look at like one's doing it at the Power Four level, and I know the Big 12 is not like all that all the time. You know what I mean? But another doing it at the Group of Five level, like I think that I'm not saying it has to factor in, but I don't feel like you can just say, oh, it's not that impressive that he plays both sides of the ball in a Power Four and is dang near going to be top 3 pick and his interception, like has 5 interceptions, which people struggle to do just playing defense in general. And he also has like double-digit touchdowns as a receiver. That's nuts.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I get really turned off by like over the top marketing campaigns for Heisman.
Yeah.
Like or just agendas being pushed. Like here's the difference for me. Ashton Janty, he sat a lot of second halves, a lot of fourth quarters and blowouts.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Meanwhile, Travis Hunter, they're throwing him the ball up like 3 scores in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like throwing bombs to him.
Yeah.
They're like, I just feel like while Travis Hunter is incredible, I get it. I would love for the Vikings to be able to draft him. We're not going to be able to because he's going to go too high. But if Boise State made it their mission to win Ashton the Heisman and they put him in third and fourth quarters of blowouts where he already had 150, 200 yards rushing, and like he would have been threatening like Samaje's record. Like that's how good he was this year. Like the number 1 running back in the country, I think this year was him, and then the number 2 running back in the country was him if you only accounted for his yards after contact. Like he's doing crazy things. Yeah. And I just struggle with the manufactured, late 50-yard touchdowns to Travis Hunter. Just, my God, he got a touchdown interception in the game again. Like I feel the same way when LeBron comes into a game to get his like 10th point, so he can extend his streak and whatnot. Like I hate manufactured streaks. I hate when Brett Favre laid down and let Michael Strahan collect for the single season sack record. Like I hate when you try and manipulate awards. And I feel like the Travis Hunter camp, Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, all those guys, while they've done good this year, like blown away expectations, credit Deion Sanders there. And while Travis Hunter is a really, really good player, like I hate manufactured awards, like campaigned awards, like all that kind of stuff. Let your play on the field, do what's best for the team. If you do what's best for the team and it works out and you win the Heisman, great. But if you're doing things that are not necessary and you're running up the score just to get some guy some stats so you can push him for the Heisman, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that.
Kirby's coming after me because he's a massive Brett Favre fan. Massive Brett Favre fan. So Kirby also, like Brett Favre, had some issues in Mississippi with some welfare fraud. That's why. Yeah. That's why he's a big Brett Favre fan. But no, that's what that would be my vote. Would be like, hey, look, one guy the coaching staff forced to get his numbers. The other guy got pulled out at halftime because it was best for his team. And, I'm not going to let the Brett Favre fan convince me otherwise.
But he hold on. Okay, time out. I do have to address this, bro. Not the offensive coordinator. We gonna get to the offensive coordinator question. Les, I love you, dog. Travis Hunter is elite at both positions.
He's a corner in the pros.
He has elite numbers at both positions.
He has very good numbers at wide receiver. He has very good numbers at corner. He projects to be an incredible corner. Bro, here's the thing. He was amazing at corner. Amazing. That's why he's going to play in the NFL. So much of his wide receiver stuff, like half of his stats, are like it's in third, fourth quarter. They're throwing in bombs because they're up. Like, if you took away garbage time from Travis Hunter and the wide receiver stuff, you can't take away garbage time in corner stuff. Like that doesn't exist, right? Like, there's no garbage time for corner. Like, you can't pad a corner's stats in garbage time, but you can absolutely do that with wide receivers. Like, when you talk about, like, he's not on the level of Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors and Justin Jefferson and you said elite, so I'm talking elite, right?
Yeah, I'll give you
so
that.
Like, if you want to talk about those kind of guys, like the dudes that are impact dudes immediately, even like the George Pickens type, like that is elite wide receiver. He's not that. He is an elite corner. So, I mean,
okay. Can I let me say this though? Okay, you have to. I know we're contact guys, but let's take it out for now. If I told you that somebody was playing receiver, had 92 receptions for 1,150 yards and 14 touchdowns, what would you say? That's just very good numbers.
Well, I would say, I'm not going to have conversations that people willingly remove context beforehand. You can't be like, hey, look, if you just don't include context whatsoever. I mean, that's like you remember what linebackers last year? What school was that? Do you remember? There was like a school whose like home scorekeepers were giving solo tackles to, like, if you even looked at the running back, like, you got a solo tackle. So it was like Danny Stutzman had like 100 tackles or whatever. There was, I think it was like Old Dominion or something crazy like that they're at like 130 tackles or something. And it was just like 4 of the top 5 tacklers in football were all on one team somehow. And I think their defense was trash. Like there's certain context that's needed. And the reason I say elite, he's not an elite wide receiver, is because he's not Malik Neighbors. He's not Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not Ryan Williams. He's not Jeremiah Smith. He's not Luther Burden. He's not these type of guys. But he is an elite corner, and I wish the Vikings could draft him as a corner because we need a corner. Vikings, that one team that Kirby's favorite player, Brett Favre, played for before we lost to the Saints. Disgusts me. I'm sure Kirby's still bent out of shape because Favre was beat the hell up in that game.
Yeah. No, I mean, here's what I will say. I think not only what Gentry has done, he didn't have a single game where he rushed for over 100 yards. I mean, it was his lowest total was 127 yards,
dude,
which is so freaking nuts.
And the point was like the yards after contact stuff. Like, you can't fake that.
Yeah, and the fact that they played Oregon, lost by 3, and he had dang near 200 yards, average 7.7, had 3 tutties.
Against the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, I guess undefeated team. Yeah, I see it. I can see both.
Luckily, I know we can't draft Travis Hunter, but running backs tend to fall a little bit in the draft. Yeah. I may get him.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, Kirby wanted you to pull his comment up, I see.
Make that known. He is not a Favre fan.
He's switching up now.
About LeBron, he says. All right, let's go back to this.
He's switching up. He's a Favre fan.
Who's the offensive coordinator for the bowl game? Then we got this or that here in a few minutes as well.
It'll be Joe John. if he's still employed here, I guess.
do
I mean, it'll be
you
Joe
think
Johnson.
they wouldn't you're gonna let Arbuckle sit in, right?
I don't think he can technically.
Is he not? He's not employed officially though.
What? Well, I guess he is.
Can he
I
not
mean, he
sit
could. I guess he could
over there
technically
like
try and
Brett did?
install.
I don't know if he's gonna install. It'd be
I
interesting
don't
to
think you can
install
install.
Steve.
I don't think it would be worth it. I think you tell Bill Bedenbow, Kirby's other favorite guy outside of Brett Favre,
Yep.
and I think you tell Bedenbow, hey, put together the game plan, go run the damn ball, and then get it done. I mean, he's been co-OC, run game coordinator. He's been whatever you need to do. He can call plays.
Yeah.
Let him go run the ball because you gotta match Navy with Navy, man. Go run the ball. We're not gonna have anybody. I mean, you and I are trotting out there a wide receiver. I mean, you be split out wide. I'll be the slot. I'll be the Jacob Jordan on the other side. But we'll see. Who knows? Who knows if Joe John wants to take a job at Purdue, wants to take a job at Mississippi State, wants to take a job at Union High School, who just hired Antonio Graham. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking we see something very similar to what we saw at Bama with the play calling, run the ball.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed. Yeah, shout out to OU basketball undefeated. Top 15 right now. So, I know everybody have been on Porter Moser for a while, and at least for now he's calmed the Wolves down, and he packed the LNC then.
Yeah.
That's an exciting team to watch. They got a lot of young talent, built well, playing well right now. So went to Louisville and beat a really good Louisville team. After also beating them in the Bahamas championship. So,
well, and you've got a bona fide star, right? In Jeremiah Fears.
Oh yeah.
And the thing
He's
is,
young too.
I am already over the I'm glad T-Row doesn't do it. But the national dudes, we have got to stop with the more like Jeremiah no fears. Am I right?
Have they been saying that?
Oh my God, every one of them. It's like, what a lazy play on words. Come on, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Jeremiah fears nothing. Jeremiah, Louisville fears Jeremiah. It's something like that. But man, just the get. Oh, hey, more. He drives to the basket through contact. More like no fears, right? Am I right? Come on, guys. You're better than that, I promise. I implore you. Come up with something else. But I will say, Boomer129 hit the nail on the head. He said, waiting for the other shoe to drop for OU basketball at around midseason. Porter Moser has done that to himself. We were ranked, number 9 in the country after going 10-0 last year, and everything was big. Here we go. I think bracketology had us as a 6 seed or something, a 4 seed, and all of a sudden we don't even make the tournament. Porter Moser, I love the guy. Coach Humphreys, all of them, love them, but they have done that to themselves. Hey, yo, somebody better chill. I'm standing up. I'm loyal to the soil. All y'all want to complain about Oklahoma kids not being loyal. I'm loyal to the soil. Some of y'all can learn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Left Tanner's like 918. Throw it up.
Yeah, that's right. That elevation hitting hard. I'll tell you what, I did drive uphill for a very long time to get here.
We're gonna find out when I get there.
I'm excited. What time do you flying in? Remind me.
What?
What time do you land? Remind me. We're gonna do some travel plans here, so y'all just hang with us. What time are you landing again?
I think 3:30.
3:30? Oh man, I got all morning to do activities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I might go to the Garden of the Gods. go hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't
Let
know.
me look. I thought I sent you the itinerary. Yeah, it's I land at 3:20.
Okay, cool. We gotta get some hotels. I haven't done that yet. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Denver's got plenty of hotels.
Yep. Plenty. So
Wait. PSS is up in Denver. Wait, first of all, Boomer 129. I'm not state media. I mean, I live in the state and I'm media, but I'm not state media. In Denver, PSS in Denver. Well, cool. Hey, we won't even get a hotel. PSS says he's got a couple guest rooms for us. Dope.
Hey.
Appreciate you. Love it. I love to see
you got
it.
a room, host some of us. Your favorite too.
Take a train ride up Pikes Peak. Well, now that I know I got all morning on Friday, I don't know. I might get up early, go to Garden of the Gods, go to Pikes Peak.
Do what you need to do. Have a good time.
It's beautiful up here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I was up there in February, but it was snowing.
Rockies are right out this window. Right here. Boom. Right out there. Rocky Mountains. Crazy. Every time I see the mountains, just like Provo last year, I started looking on Zillow. I'm like, man, a guy could have a second place in the mountains. You know what I mean? I need to make more money, but.
All right, guys, a couple more questions here, and then we'll do this or that, and we'll be out of here.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's got the questions? Live pod with Travis on edibles? Absolutely not.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, Travis will not be doing a show live on edibles. Nope. Although it is a little bit different up here in Colorado that I've noticed. In Oklahoma, it's like every single corner's got a dispensary on it. It's big green neon lights, big flags, big, wacky waving inflatable arm guys. But here it's like I don't see any. But Colorado is kind of known as like one of the spots that was first available. But I don't see any, which is kind of odd. So, anyways, not that I'm looking. Bourbon treats me fine, but. I tell you what, I am getting hooked up with a bottle tomorrow. I'm very excited. Very excited. Getting hooked up with a special bottle. I'll show it off on Instagram when I pick it up.
Mateer or Hawk, Trav? Who do you think will be the 2025?
¿Por qué no los dos? Why not both? I think that both should be on the roster. I think that Hawk should be given the opportunity to compete if Mateer is brought in. And man, it's tough, right? Because I think Hawkins has more upside. And I think that Hawkins is probably the most talented quarterback that that Arbuckle has ever had the opportunity to mold.
Yeah.
But Mateer, knowing the system already.
That's big, man.
That's big. Very big. We've seen it with Diego Paiva at Vanderbilt. We've seen it at Oklahoma with DG and Jeff Lebby. You're right. The thing is, and I'm getting to this a lot, Boomer 129 saying Mateer is Baker-esque. I will say this. Mateer ran the ball a lot. I think he had 11. He had 15 rushing touchdowns, I believe. 15 rushing touchdowns. Running away from the opponents that he ran away from and ran through, it's a little bit different in the SEC. A lot of it different in the SEC. So he's not going to be able to do that at the same level. Hopefully, he continues to develop as he continues to grow in the system. But, we saw Mike Hawkins get caught by these dudes, some of them. And Mike Hawkins is a dynamic runner. So going from that level of competition, I wouldn't count as much on the running, but we'll see. And on the who's he throwing it to, PSS, list the top 4 wide receivers at Washington State. Go.
Bruh. Okay, breathe. Again, guys,
That's the point, man.
we're gonna
you've
have
got
receivers.
you've got Williams, their best receiver, but outside of that, you don't know nobody on their team.
You know,
Like, what are we doing here?
where's the
And
University of Oklahoma?
that's the thing. You're gonna have receivers. Look how many receivers are in the portal. And
Too
this is
many.
not a knock on Emmett Jones, but you can go get receivers. In the 7-on-7 world, these receivers develop at a young age. That's why you see guys like Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams taking the top off the league in year one. That's why you see guys like Malik Neighbors, succeeding so early in the NFL. You see guys that have all these reps. If you go get 2 or 3 portal wide receivers, first of all, screw that. If you return Jaden Gibson and Deion Burks, those are the 2 most talented wide receivers that John Mateer or Michael Hawkins have ever thrown to. And they're the 2 best wide receivers that Ben Arbuckle has ever coached. So I think we're good. Now, if those 2 go in the portal, I won't be happy.
Not everybody's gone. We're gonna have receivers. It's okay. All right, let's get to this or that, and we'll get out of here. Get a quick little slate for you guys. First up, since we're actually going to see him play on Sunday, figure we do a little, throwback with this guy and another, popular edge rusher at the University of Oklahoma, Nick Benito or Ugbo Okoronkwo.
Couple of NFL guys.
Nick is dangling out for Defensive Player of the Year this year.
I think
that man having a season.
I think,
and this is as a college player, not.
I think Boomer 129 sells edibles because he just wants everybody on edibles. Needs some wide receivers on edibles now. I think I might be putting Boomer 129's business in the streets. Who knows?
Who you choosing, Trav?
I'm gonna let the chat fill out a little bit. I'm reading on some of these.
New sponsor for the show. You're gonna be our sponsor?
New sponsor for the show. I think we found the guy that's on edibles. It's right under our noses like a mustache. Yeah, I'm going Benito, man.
Yeah.
Going Benito. Love Obo, but I'm not biased because I'm seeing him for the second time as a Denver Bronco this weekend. I think he's special, man. Scoring big touchdowns now. He played in an era, right, when defense wasn't that great at Oklahoma, but he still found a way to shine, get drafted, and go succeed in the NFL. I'm a Benito guy for sure. Now, let's not talk about Jalen Redmond and Brian Asamoah.
Hey.
Couple Vikings, 11-2. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Jamar Cain, Marvin Jones Jr. in the portal. He was a Sooner on the Monday. He was committing to OU the Monday after Lincoln left.
Crazy.
Committing to OU the Monday after Lincoln left. Jamar went to Lincoln and said, hey, Marvin's committing on Monday. Lincoln said, well, what if we lose Bedlam? Jamar said, what do you – okay, what does that have to do with anything? He said, well, I don't know. What if we lose?
He said that?
Yeah, Lincoln said that. What do you mean? What have I not told you this story?
No.
Am I breaking this news?
Yes. This is breaking news. I've never heard that before. That could blow up Twitter, Trav.
No. I don't need that kind of attention.
What?
Yeah, Marvin Jones Jr. Marvin Jones Jr. was committing to OU the Monday after Bedlam, and he was excited about it. And
I want to
Lincoln was like, "Well, what if we lose?"
I want to.
And that's when I was like, Lincoln was leaving. Like, not that we needed any more.
What if we lose? What if we lose, bro? We could have. Okay, let me chill.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Bill Bedenbaugh going to Brent Venables and saying, "Hey, Michael Fasusi is going to sign with us a couple days after LSU," and Brent Venables goes, "What if we lose?" What? Yeah. So, golly, y'all going to get me in trouble. Hey, what? Well, I mean, let's be honest. Who am I going to get in trouble with?
You're not there no more.
Jamar, salt of the earth guy.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest mistakes Brent Venables ever made was not call Jamar immediately when he was talking to Joe C and say, "Hey, why don't you stay in Norman?" Nicholas Harbor would have been a Sooner. Marvin Jones Jr. would have been a Sooner. Who's the 5-star that edge that just left LSU? He would have been probably a Sooner. Who knows? Derek Moore, that just won a national title at Michigan. He would have been a Sooner. Like,
listen, Les, nobody knew that. Okay, we all learned something new today because wow, it doesn't matter now. But man, screw that guy. Okay, screw that guy. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prime Colts Peyton Manning or 2013-2014 Broncos Peyton Manning as the Colts playing the Broncos, this weekend. And that was one of the greatest quarterbacks all time. Played for both teams. So when we're talking about prime, I'm talking about like 2004 to 2009 Colts Peyton Manning.
You got a super chat you got to address.
Thank you, PSS. Appreciate that. Yeah, Amaya, she was singing with this mic. She liked to sing. We sing songs for bed every day. She loves Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer right now. So I think I created a monster because I had the idea to do a little performance. And she's like, "Daddy, I need you to announce me." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And she's not even 3, y'all. She's not even 3.
That's so cute.
So, yeah.
But it feels weird for you even to say like not even 3, because God,
yeah.
I remember when she was born, and it's hard because I know that you and I
met Amaya and Yo Pablo. He met Amaya and Yo Pablo.
Yep.
For the first time in person.
Yep. Uncle Trav.
Oh, that was crazy.
The reason I struggle with it, JP, is I know you and I aren't getting older.
Yeah.
So how is it that she's getting older? That I don't know.
That
seems a bit odd, personally.
It is. I don't know where that's coming from. Hey, shout out to my boy Jay that hooked me up with this mic. That was him. Love you, bro.
Same mic. I had to buy mine, but
hey.
I know. Don't hate the player, hate the game, I guess. But it's it's a good looking mic. It's a good sounding mic, and look at you. Came with on camera with a mic.
Hey,
I'm here in a hotel room in Colorado Springs. Apparently, just a few miles away from, was it PSS or Boomer 129? I think it was PSS. Boomer 129 keeps on trying to get everybody on edibles.
Okay, did you answer the Peyton Manning question? I'm sorry, we got sidetracked.
I am going with Broncos Peyton Manning because I had him in fantasy the year that he just went off. 50 touchdowns or something like that. Crazy. And I like Broncos Peyton Manning in general because he helps me win an argument a lot of times, because Broncos Peyton Manning was the only time that a top 10 paid player in the NFL won a Super Bowl that was a quarterback. Does that track? So the only time that a quarterback that was in the top 10 paid players in the NFL that also won a Super Bowl that year was the Broncos' Peyton Manning. So that helps me in my argument in hell no, we shouldn't re-sign Sam Darnold. What are you, crazy? Get him out of here. J.J. McCarthy is coming in here on a rookie deal. Send Sam Darnold down the road with his $100 million deal to the Giants or somebody.
After what that man has looked like this year, that's what you're saying?
Well, guess what? He looked like buns before Kevin O'Connell.
So
Kirk
you
Cousins
can
looks
say
like
people can
Kirk
say
Cousins
something
looks
about
like
Baker,
buns
Travis.
right now. Dude, Kirk Cousins, you know.
About Baker.
No. So Kirk Cousins in the last 4 weeks, you know how many touchdowns he's thrown? Tell me, in the last 4 weeks, guess how many touchdowns he's thrown?
I don't know, but I know he threw for a combined 9 against the Bucks.
No, guess.
2.
Well, I guess, before the – so Minnesota was the 4th week. In the 4 weeks, he threw 0 touchdown passes in 4 weeks. Guess how many picks, JP?
8.
It's a hell of a guess. Or you just knew the interceptions for some reason.
I just guessed.
8 interceptions in the last 4 weeks, 0 touchdowns.
Yikes.
He left Kevin O'Connell, and he ended up in a gutter. Sam Darnold, Mr. I See Ghosts, been a bum everywhere he's been, shows up, and Kevin O'Connell makes him into an MVP candidate. And everybody's like, oh, break Sam Darnold off for, 90 million, 120 million. No, get out of here.
Gosh,
Get him out of here. We got J.J. McCarthy, the babyface assassin.
Interception. That's crazy.
Say what?
He almost got over 4,000 yards.
That's adorable. But,
that's adorable.
They lost to us because who doesn't? We're 11-2. But they lost to us.
Okay.
And hey, shout out I don't even know if he's still in the comments, but my Brett Favre fan over here, Kirby, fellow Vikings fan.
If he is, he better come back.
Anyways, I just don't. The Vikings beat the Falcons to give Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers the top spot in the NFC South. Just everything's coming up roses here for people who think Kirk Cousins is overrated.
All right, our last one, and we out of here.
All right.
Food. So apparently, I try to look up, what's a Denver delicacy? Like, what are they known for? Different stuff. I mean, I got a lot of Hispanic food, but one thing apparently they do lamb really well. That's what I saw. So I put lamb or beef. Which one you going with? Like what? If you had to choose one. Because to me, man, if you've had some good lamb, it's tough. It's tough.
No, I do like lamb. I like lamb a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Beef, beef, it's so versatile. I mean, I had a burger tonight. It was fantastic. I had bison burger tonight. But, man, it's just
Lamb or beef, PSS? Why are you always questioning us? Just answer the question.
See, beef, I can still, even like a veal chop. That's beef. I got to go beef. Beef. But, God, lamb is good. I thought you were about to hit me with a Denver omelet or something like that. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, that's what I mean. PSS, if you're in Denver, you tell us, man, what's good to eat in Denver because we about to be out there anyway. We're traveling already out in Colorado, but
yeah, I'm about to make a day of it on Friday morning.
Shoot,
go see all kinds of stuff.
Lamb.
Although there is such thing as a Denver steak. So I'll tell you what, rattlesnake. We could go.
What?
Bro, hey, why don't you just give me a chance here? So there's a place called Buckhorn Exchange. If it's still open, we got to go. It was the first place in the state of Colorado to have her liquor license. And
Okay.
they had like a rattlesnake appetizer that
Mm-hmm.
was so dope. And then we had ostrich, which was really good, like an ostrich steak, kind of shared. But Buckhorn Exchange, a lot of taxidermy on the wall. Go upstairs, they got like an "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" type vibe going on. Usually a band. We will check it out.
Okay.
Buckhorn Exchange. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've already had dinner. I'm not even hungry. I'm excited about Buckhorn Exchange.
Hey, I'm excited just to be there. It's gonna be a good weekend. Enjoying some time with my brother here. So we'll keep you updated. I'm sure we'll post a little bit. But yeah, we just got another week to hopefully get some portal news ourselves. See if we can convince some people to make their way on over to Oklahoma. Who knows, what else will happen, but y'all stay locked in with us. I will let you know about next week what we're gonna do because I'm actually getting my wisdom teeth taken out next Wednesday. So I will not be available. I'll talk to Travis and see what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna be knocked out and not able to talk. So
Hey, no, you got to do that. You got to do the pot on pain pills.
I don't sound crazy. I don't be up here like not talking. So, but yeah, we appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for rocking with us as always. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Share the channel and everything like that. I will not be drinking through a straw at all. I'm not trying to get dry sockets. So
Yeah, come on now.
don't try to hurt me. We're more 29. I'm gonna be. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna be sucking through the straw. I'll tell you that right now. So, all right. You played softball the same day. What are you trying to do to me? Call me out?
I mean, Les said he's really like that.
Hey, I'm not gonna go there. I was gonna say if certain people can if we could post video, or maybe I'll just post a video proving that I didn't even have my teeth taken out, that I'm healthy, and I'm ready to go. And I could have performed on the JP and Trav show, but I chose not to. Okay, anyways, with that being said, we're gonna get out of here before I get in trouble. Love y'all. Boomer.